tech in the car. I'm at Goodwood today. I'm going to show you around, show you what there is to see here, and we're going to have a look at some cool cars as well. So this is the Maserati MC20, and it's got 630 horsepower with a torque of 730 Newton meters that delivers 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in under 2.9 seconds, and the top speed over 325 kilometers an hour. And it marks the beginning of Maserati's new era. It's a sports car, it's a worthy successor to the MC12. It's made in Modena, made in Italy. And this car is really lightweight, under 1,500 kilograms. And thanks to its power output of 630 horsepower, it comes out to a best-in-class power-to-weight ratio of 2.33 kilograms per horsepower. And this is down to using carbon fiber and being designed to maximize performance. And look at those cool doors. Look at the interior here. Screen in the middle and a big screen digital driver display or Alcantara inside. So that's the MC20. It looks really cool in this blue color as well. So here we have the new Ferrari Roma. Here we have the just under 1,000 horsepower Ferrari SF90 Stradale. Looks very, very nice in this white. And here we have one, which is a Spider. Over this side we have the Aston Martin stand. This is the DB11. The Vantage in a Spider form. Around here we've got the Aston Martin Valkyrie. It's all the carbon fiber. If anyone who likes Shmi 150, he was over there just taking pictures of the Aston Martin. So if you see some Aston Martins on his channel, that's him. Who knows, maybe it's for personal shopping. So this is a Genesis G70 shooting brake. This takes the G70 sedan and turns it into a shooting brake. As you can see, it's a very attractive looking car. It gains the brand signature quad lamps featuring super thin LED strips at the front, and the low slung crest grille evokes an aggressive stance that characterizes its performance character. And you can see it's a very aggressive looking car. It has a long hood and a short overhang, and then towards the back here a very, very cool design with a shooting brake dropping off the back. And again, these really interesting lights which evoke a memory a bit of Mercedes from a little while ago. They had a similar design on some of their cars at the back with the lights divided. And we've got two double exhausts there. And we got these really wide rear arches as well. So this is a very aggressive looking car with a spoiler. The little V on here as well on the spoiler, which is cool. And then over here we have the G70 sedan, the saloon, which is what the G70 shooting brake is based on. And again, I have to be honest, I really like the alloy wheels that Genesis are putting on their cars. They look incredibly cool. And this is a sedan. And hopefully I can get some time driving a Genesis vehicle later this year, because I think they're really cool and they've got some interesting designs. And to launch, even though they are part of, they have a history from other parts of the world, to launch a brand like this in Europe this year is a real statement of intent, especially considering what's going on in the world. Over here at the Alfa Romeo stand, we've got the Alfa Romeo GTA, which is built on its roots. This is based off the Giulia GTA from 1965 that inspired it. And the Giulia GTA is fitted with a more powerful version of the Alfa Romeo 2.9 V6 bi-turbo, now with 540 horsepower. And it's got extensive use of lightweight materials, which means it saves 100 kilograms on the standard quadrifoglio, with a power weight ratio to 2.82 kilograms per horsepower. And this is only going to have 500 units in total. And it's definitely a much more aggressive design than the Giulia Quadrifoglio. You can see a review on my channel of the Giulia Quadrifoglio, which was a very exciting car. It's a very cool spoiler at the back here. Gap here in the wheels. Center lock as well. Very, very aggressive. This car has an 8-speed automatic gearbox, and it can do 0 to 100 in 3.6 seconds. I imagine it'll probably be slightly faster. Carbon fiber roof, like you can get on the standard Giulia Quadrifoglio.
Well, at the moment.
We got the Auto Delta logo on the side here. And the Auto Delta is based on the Giulia Sprint GT, the racked up sporting sisters worldwide. So we've already got the Quadrifoglio logo, and now we've got the Auto Delta logo to make it even more exclusive and even more exciting. Now over here, we have the GTAm, which is the even more track-focused car with an adjustable front splitter. And a massive, massive rear spoiler, which is adjustable. So we're at the Polestar stand. There's the Precept. Here's the Polestar 2. You can watch a video review of this car on my channel as well. Hopefully there's more time with Polestar later on this year. So over here we have the Polestar Precept with its suicide doors. And here's the Precept from the front. So this is the future of Polestar, and this actually reminds me a lot of the Koenigsegg. And this reminds me a lot of the Koenigsegg, which has a similar lot of space inside as well, although totally different in principle and the way it's implemented, being an electric car. We're at the Porsche stand. This is the Cayenne Turbo GT. This is powered by a 640 horsepower version of the 4-litre twin turbocharged V8 with 90 PS, 90 horsepower, more than the Cayenne Turbo Coupe, and a maximum of 850 Newton meters, which is an increase of 80 Newton meters. The V8 fitted in the Turbo GT is fundamentally different to that in the Turbo, in the crankshaft, the connecting rods, pistons, timing chain, and the increase in power to 640 PS has allowed for higher peak loads in all those areas and improved driving responsiveness. That's the Cayenne Turbo GT. And then to the right here we have the Taycan Turbo S Cross Turismo. So the shooting brake. So we've seen one shooting brake already today from Genesis. This is another shooting brake. Many car reviewers say it's the best Taycan that you can get. And again, as a shooting brake, it has great convenience going on here. And it looks very, very muscular and the perfect combination of the future and the past, and distinctly Porsche. Without compromise and a great driving experience from the Taycan Turbo S Cross Turismo. On the Lamborghini stand on the other side of Goodwood, we have the STO, That wing, louvers. Oh, thanks. Very aggressive front of the car. And then over here to the side, we have the newest and final, maybe, version of the Aventador. This is the Aventador LP784, which is a numbered series with 350 units, a coupe, 250 versions in roadster. And this has got a upgraded longitudinally mounted V12 engine with 780 horsepower, 8,500 RPM, to a permanent four-wheel drive system, which is where the LP784 name comes from, because it's got 780 horsepower and it's four-wheel drive. Acceleration from 0 to 60 takes 2.8 seconds. Top speed of 355 kilometers an hour for the coupe. This is the best of the Aventador SVJ's performance, combined with the driving dynamics of the Aventador S and the definitive Aventador design. And I have to say, in its matte finish, it looks fantastic. You can see the engine here, a 780 horsepower engine, which can get it from 0 to 100 in 2.8 seconds. And this is the worldwide debut of this car here at the Goodwood Festival of Speed, the LP784. Okay. We're here now. This is a new BMW 2 Series. You can see it looks a lot like the previous second generation 2 Series. So it's got a new front headlights and a new front here, new wheel design. Coming around here, it keeps the same coupe look. Slightly different. The interior is more like the 1 Series and like the 3 Series. You see same design language inside. You've got the widescreen touch display in the middle with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay wireless. Sport seats.
The quality interior.
Same wide arches at the back. This is the M240i. So let's talk about the lineup here. We have 3 models. We have the 220i, which is a 4-cylinder petrol engine with 184 horsepower, 0 to 62 in 7.5 seconds, and costs $34,980, which is rear-wheel drive. And then we have the diesel version, which is similar power but has 100 newton meters more torque, and it is a mild hybrid with a 48-volt starter generator, which brings the 0 to 62 down to 6.9 seconds for an extra £2,000. And then this model, which is the M240i, which is 45,795, which is a straight 6 with 374 horsepower and 500 newton meter torque with 0 to 62 in 4.3 seconds. I showed you the new 240 iX-Drive a bit earlier, but this is a different color. I think it looks a lot nicer than the color on the other stand. This is the rear of the car. This is the 220D MSport. So this is not the top model, but this car in this color looks better than the other colors that I've seen. I'm a big fan of blue, obviously. I think that should be obvious. And this is the diesel version, but it looks much better in this deep rich blue compared to this sort of palish blue, although that looks better than the one on the big stand that I showed you there. This is cool. This is a new BMW iX electric car. So I have to say, I really love the design and the interior of the iX. Very cool. I love these floating screens. A bit Mercedes-like, but it has a slight curve in it as well. And then down here you've got your fast charging, and you've got 2 USB-C cables. And of course it's a touchscreen, but these seats are also very luxurious as well. And a very cool door design.
What do you reckon? Do you like it? What do you think? What do you think?
So just opposite the EV6 is a Rimac Nevera. This is a 1,900 horsepower electric car, fastest in the world. As you will have seen, Bugatti and Rimac just formed a new company called Bugatti Rimac. And so this is going to be the first car that they release as a new company, I would say it's fair to say. And going forward, they will be responsible for Bugatti and for Rimac. So this is the Nevera. It looks awesome. I would say that it maybe doesn't look quite as detailed as some of the other cars I've seen here today, but still an amazing car. $2 million, £2 million. Doesn't really matter which currency you use, because if you can afford that, it doesn't matter if it's a tiny bit more or less in either currency. But this is a Rimac Nevera. So just opposite the Nevera is a Kia EV6, and just like the Hyundai IONIQ 5, this is one of the exciting new generation of electric cars coming. This has, like the IONIQ 5, 800 volt fast charging, which can charge from 10 to 80% in 18 minutes. And it can also top up, as I mentioned in my short video, 100 kilometers, about 60 miles, in less than 4.5 minutes, which is very similar to putting fuel in your car at a petrol station. So this is a big step up when the infrastructure is there for electric cars. And of course, this has a lot of interior space. This car is very much similar size to the IONIQ 5. It's a bit more curvy. It's fair to say the IONIQ 5 is a bit more sharp, a bit more pointed. This has cool lights. I like how the trim comes up here and intersects with the lights. And again, just like the IONIQ 5, it's a similar size car, but this is more rounded, whereas the IONIQ 5 is more sharp. So the IONIQ 5 almost looks a bit retro. This looks a bit more futuristic. Interesting. Kia and Hyundai, both obviously Korean companies, and this is built on the same platform as the IONIQ 5, so size-wise and shape and space, they're similar. This model is a standard EV6. There is a GT version, which has got higher spec. This is a Hyundai IONIQ 5. There's an all-wheel drive option with a 72.6 kilowatt-hour battery, which produces 225 kilowatts of power output and 605 Newton meters of torque, and it can go 0 to 100 in 5.2 seconds. There's also a dual motor layout with a 58 kilowatt battery, which can go from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 6.1 seconds. The single motor layout with 160 kilowatt rear motor offers 350 Newton meters of torque and two-wheel drive. And this car has 800 volt charging, which means it can charge from 10 to 80% in 18 minutes, and it can tow a trailer up to 1,600 kilograms, and you can get it with wireless fast charging. So this car is a medium-sized SUV size, even though it has got a hatchback design, which is very unique. And it's got 21-inch wheels, and it's got a matte design to the paintwork here. And the very retro-looking headlights. They look like they belong in the 80s. Which is interesting because obviously Honda have got a similar look for the Honda E, which I drove on the channel, so check out my review of that. But it's a very interesting design and an interesting form factor to have an SUV size car, but actually a hatchback, and so deceptively it looks very different to what you would expect in person.
In the front.
As you can see, looking inside this car, it's got a white design. We've got an interesting speaker on the side here. I'm not a big fan of this white bezel, I have to be honest with you. It doesn't affect the size of screens, but I don't think white bezels are really the way to go with screens. They look bigger if they're black. And inside here we have a lot of space. And it's very spacious, and these seats are very comfortable, and they've actually got these controls on the side down here, which will let you adjust them and move them forwards and backwards so you can get into more relaxed position. And they've got these little thigh rests as well, which pop out. And the steering wheel has a little drive mode button as well. So here is something really special. This is the Pininfarina Battista. And this is another 2,000 horsepower hypercar. But of course, Pininfarina used to design Ferraris, and it very much looks like a, well, like a Ferrari would. And you can see all the exquisite design details here. You can see these headlights with carbon fiber surrounding them, all the ducting. And look at these wheels. These wheels are beautiful wheels. Unbelievably detailed. Carbon fiber all the way around. This is a sensational back of the Pininfarina Battista. And look at those lights, how they float. Look at that. Wow, fantastic. Carbon fiber at the back here.
Sorry, no, I'm only responsible for this car, not for the game. Unfortunately,
And look at these doors.
Are you one of the designers? No, I'm the together with my boss.
Cool car. It's a cool car.
Thank you.
That's fully electric as well.
Yes, it is.
Cool square steering wheel. Lots of fine details here. The stitching. I love the dual color of the seats. And then on the side here you have the mode button, which lets you change the modes of the car while you're driving. This is by far the coolest looking car I've seen today at the Goodwood Festival of Speed. My favourite to look at. Best overall design. And look at that, that's very McLaren centrist with the gas struts coming out of the carbon fibre tub. So that's my tour of the cars at Goodwood Festival of Speed. Don't forget to give it a like and subscribe if you want to see more. Stay safe and see you soon.